Is this 8? I think we're on 8. Maybe? Yeah. This is the 8th exhibition of stupid people. I know what you're thinking. Shouldn't you be doing something festive? We will. Near the end of the video. I promise. First though, because we're going to cover 3 different topics, and there's going to be a wardrobe change for each one as is appropriate. I want to talk about an expert called Jane Usher. I'm not sure if it's pronounced Usher or the 2 S's are exaggerated, so I'm going to go with Jane her, who claims PMS is cultural, and that the narrative around menstrual cycle started in the UK and the USA, and that non-Western women report less emotional signs of premenstrual syndrome, and that women in supportive relationships report fewer emotional signs. Now, there is some truth to where the origins of the term comes from, because of the phrase premenstrual tension that was coined in 1931, and then the term PMS, premenstrual syndrome, 20 years later. But the symptoms will exhibit everywhere, which include, and I'm going to list them because I'm a sexist, okay? Mood swings, feeling upset, anxious or irritable, tiredness or trouble sleeping, bloating and or tummy pain, breast tenderness, headaches, spotty skin, greasy hair, and changes in appetite and, understandably so, sex drive. It is widely believed that for the most part these symptoms can be to an extent abated if you eat healthy, get enough exercise, get enough sleep as well, and do such things like yoga, with there being treatments for more severe cases that include the contraceptive pill, cognitive behavioural therapy, and antidepressants. I kinda like the attitude taken towards periods and PMS from that of 30 Rock, where Elizabeth Banks' character had to disappear for a week of the year to go through it all within that time in a cage, with, I believe, her partner Jack saying, "I can't wait until we abolish this altogether," or something to that effect. It's probably one of the very few scenes in 30 Rock I found funny.
Oh, my period! You're all fired!
The reason this is here is because PMS is actually recognised as a condition, but it, like many conditions, is not fully understood. Many attribute it to changes in hormone levels during the menstrual cycle, something which has yet to be truly validly quantified. The term is a Western thing, but the way the symptoms represent and show are universal. Now maybe, because of cultural differences, it is something not well or something that does in fact manifest as openly as it does in the West. Yes, that does not mean they are not exhibiting those symptoms, merely they are doing better at controlling them. In short, you're being too sensitive, okay? How appropriate, I guess. Moving on, I forgot to mention before about the last article we covered that the majority of the articles and books published by Jane Usher, yes, would include women's issues. There are others about oncology and caring for people, but they are not relevant. Now moving on to a teacher. So we've gone with an academic field and segued onto another. We're going to go to a teacher. Yes. In South Africa's poshest private school. Yes, South Africa has one. Didn't know that. Okay. So after doing a little digging, we need Fiona Viotia, again with surnames I can't pronounce, I'm sorry, who has been sacked because of what she did with at least five of her students, where she sent a series of explicit videos that were later posted online anyway, and are featured on a number of sites, adult movie sites, worldwide. That's not surprising though. Once on the internet, it will always be on the internet. The reason I want to talk about this is the obvious reason. The evidence is quite damning. In fact, the police in that area have confirmed this evidence exists, which means it's not so much alleged, in fact it is damn proven. How might you ask, did Fiona Viotia, let's just go with Fiona, okay? How did she get these boys to do things for her and in return send things and engage in things with them? Well, she taught history and water polo at Cape Town's Bishop's Diocesan College, or season, I don't know. Now this all came about because of a probe into the frolics with one teenage boy, which led 4 others to come forward. Now, they admitted they had engaged in certain activities with the recently married teacher at the all-boys elite fee-paying school. This school is considered on par with that of our United Kingdom's Eton College. Press X to doubt. Since this has all come about, she has admitted, or been admitted twice, to psychiatric clinics for treatment. The boys were sent these messages and videos, the performing acts and images of indecent exposure, through WhatsApp, where they were targeted. Now, while in those pictures and images you can't see her face, however, there are distinctive rings in the images and videos that are seen in most of the pictures of her during her modelling career. The boys, though, this is where it gets interesting, because she's not going to face any criminal charges. The boys were of age, which is where they don't pursue any legal action against her because she's suffered enough in their minds, where she was fired and her then husband has left her. I fundamentally disagree with this. A teacher is placed within a position of trust. She took advantage of them. Let's not forget here, some countries don't look too favourably upon those who commit adultery, but to manipulate young people, regardless of their age, when in education and therefore a position of trust, they should be charged. The boys in this are 2 years over age, so the argument could be counter to that. I disagree with that, because we don't know how far back it goes. The manipulation and, of course, what some would consider a form of grooming. The reason she is here, though, is because she had it all, and she decided to throw it away to get her rocks off to a bunch of kids, with a bunch of kids, when she herself had only just gotten married, which says a lot about the state of her relationship already. I feel sorry for the man she married for wasting his time, and it should be noted, as far as those who got the job go, don't know if she earned it. Her father is a history teacher at the school, and her grandfather is the former headmaster of the school. Best of luck trying to get a job in the future. Moving on to the final story, and to get into the festive spirit, we're going to move to my little grotto. Right. Yes. Festive story, everyone. Rub those hands together. Yes. We have a festive story. Oh boy, oh boy. For this, though, I need to paint a little picture. When you all think of clowns, you either think of Pennywise, Doink, the party clowns of old, and the consequences of some of those party clowns of old. I'm not going to say the word, so let's move on to Santa Claus. When you think of Santa Claus, you think of the North Pole. You think of those grottos in the shopping centres or malls. You think of those events people go to where they can sit on his lap and get a present and a photo. My nieces yesterday went on a rather splendid train journey to meet Santa with their granddad, and they had an absolute blast, and the photo is fantastic. My stepmother very kindly said, "That is the campest Santa I've ever met," to which I replied, "Like it really matters." The kids had fun. But there is another type of Santa, much like that of the clown, we don't talk about. And it's the same one for the clowns as for the Santa. The one beginning with P. With that in mind, I'm going to put this picture on screen. This man is not Santa Claus, I'm afraid, kids. This is Stephen Brown. This is Stephen Brown here. This should be a Judge Moist thing, by the way. But I'll be honest, it's got the Christmas spirit written all over it. Not even slightly. In 2012, Stephen Brown was jailed for possession of indecent images and inciting children to engage in certain acts. SEX acts. Back in 2010, a teenage girl contacted the police after an anonymous social media account befriended her and sent a string of rather inappropriate, highly inappropriate messages. The user encouraged her to perform acts and even threatened the schoolgirl when she refused to carry out the demands. He was arrested at his home, where the police then discovered the images of children during the search. He was arrested and convicted of 14 offences. Brown was given an SOPO and jailed for 5 years. Now, I think the sentence was far too short. The SOPO, the Sexual Offences Protection Order, is a lifetime thing. He was not allowed, because of that SOPO, to be anywhere near children unless the parent already knew about the offence and gave consent. Meaning that when he was stood in the high street outside a shopping centre in Newcastle city centre with a sign that says, "Get your picture taken with Santa Claus and leave a donation," he was breaking SOPO rules. SOPO, that works. He is now back behind bars where he will spend Christmas, and he will for 6 weeks. My advice here is, if you see a Santa like this, be a bit cautious. With that same thing in mind though, don't treat all Santas like Stephen Brown. I'm sure he was doing it for what he believed to be a good deed, i.e. himself and his liver. However, not all of those that dress up as Santa are like him. The majority are not like him. So please give that some due consideration. If you are going to take a picture with a Santa, be in sight. Make sure their hands are visible, unless consent is given. Stephen Brown, you are the tool to your own destruction. Congratulations. You're an idiot, and you should be behind bars for much longer. Don't try and ruin Christmas for everyone else by taking advantage of something for children so you can take advantage of children. As with all previous exhibitions of stupid people, I'm very much interested to know what you think. I may have dumbed down the Jane Us Her stuff, but in truth I gave it a long, deep, hard read and realised, this all appears to be an overcomplication of something far simpler. So please let me know in the comments below. Also, as a final thing, there is a new video on the Moistski Live channel, and I'll be streaming on Twitch tonight at 8:30 PM GMT. Link to both in the description below. Have a lovely Monday, and thank you all for listening.